Hello friends, welcome back to my channel with another video and with new questions. This is the first part of AWS interview questions. In this video, we will cover first interview question, and these questions are very important because it is asked many times in the interview. Okay, the purpose of this video and channel to provide you the answers of the questions in easy way and a simple language, so you can easily understand and remember easily, and you can easily explain in your interview. Okay, so let's get started. First, we read the question, and after that the answer, and after that we will do the practical of this, that is how to create VPC. Okay, so the first question of AWS interview question series is, what is the AWS VPC, and explain it with example. Okay, so you have to explain like this. In simple term, a VPC, that is virtual private cloud, is like our own secure piece of the internet within the Amazon Web Services. It's a virtual network where you can run your AWS resources like servers and databases, just like you would on your own physical network. Okay, with a VPC, you have control over things like who can access your resources, how they communicate with each other, and how they connect to the internet. It's like having your own private corner of the internet tailored to your need and under your control. Okay, so like this, we have to explain the definition of, that is, what is VPC. Okay, so you have to also explain with it example. Okay, so the interviewer understand properly and easily. Okay, and if the interviewer also may ask you that, explain me with the example how the VPC works. Okay, in this case you have to explain like this. From the perspective of interview, I have prepared this answer. Okay, let's say you work for an e-commerce company that is migrating its infrastructure to AWS. As a part of this migration, you need to set up a secure and scalable network architecture using AWS VPC. So the first step is designing the VPC. Okay, you begin by creating a VPC with the CIDR block that does not conflict with any existing networks. Okay, for example, you choose the CIDR block 10.0.0.0/16 for your VPC. Okay, after that we have to do the subnet configuration. Within the VPC, you create multiple subnets across the different availability zone, that it AZ in short form for high availability. Okay, you create a public subnet in each AZ for hosting your web servers, allowing them to have a public IP addresses and direct access to the internet. Additionally, you create private subnets in each AZ for your application servers and database servers, ensuring that they do not have direct internet access for enhanced security. After that, we have to create a internet gateway and NAT gateway. Okay, to enable the internet access for resources in the public subnet, you attached an internet gateway to the VPC. Meanwhile, to allow resources in the private subnets to access the internet for software updates or external services, you set up a NAT gateway in each public subnet. Okay, after that, security groups and network ACLs also we have to create. You configure security groups to control inbound and outbound traffic to your EC2 instances based on the principle of least privilege. For example, you allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic to your web servers from the internet, but restrict SSH access only to specific IP addresses. Additionally, you use network ACLs to control the traffic at the subnet level. Okay, security group at the instance level, and network ACL, or we can say the NACL, which is used at subnet level, such as allowing only the certain ports for communication between the subnets. Okay, after that, connectivity. Since your e-commerce application needs to communicate it with one on premises system, you establish a VPN connection between your VPC and the corporate data center using virtual private gateway. This allows secure communication over the internet between the AWS cloud and on-premises resources. Okay, for example, your e-commerce application needs to communicate with on-premises system, then we have to use this virtual private gateway. Okay, after that, scaling and monitoring. As your e-commerce business grows, you can easily scale your infrastructure within the VPC by adding more subnets, instances, or other AWS services. You set up Amazon VPC logs to capture the information about the IP traffic going to and from network interfaces in your VPC for monitoring, troubleshooting, and security analysis. Okay, so after that, compliance and governance. To ensure compliance with the regulatory requirements, you enable the encryption for data in transit and at rest within the VPC. You also regularly review and audit the VPC configuration to ensure it meets industry standard and best practices. For high availability and disaster recovery, you design the VPC to highly available across the multiple AZs to withstand failures. You implement automatic failure mechanism for critical components, such as using Amazon RDS multi-AZ deployments for database redundancy. In this scenario, AWS VPC provides the foundation for building a secure, scalable, and resilient network architecture for the e-commerce application meeting the company's requirement for performance, reliability and compliance. Okay, so like this way you have to explain the VPC or how the VPC works. Okay, so in very simple way I have prepared this answer, or you may have to make it short, you can make, but it is just for more information I have added more points. Okay, so you can make short answer of this if you want, but all points are important. Okay, so explain as you want. Okay, so now we move towards the practical, that how to create a VPC so you understand in easy way. Okay, and it is easy to remember. Okay, for you. So let's start the practical. Just I logged in to my AWS account. Okay, so just I have to search here VPC. So now we will create VPC, so you can understand how the VPC we create in easy way. Okay, so we have to click on the VPC. After that we have to click here, that is create VPC. After that we have to have for if we selected this option, then create only the VPC resources or the VPC and other networking resources. Okay, so we have to select the VPC only option. Okay, so and we are creating the VPC manually, all things we will create manually, so we have to provide the name for the VPC. Okay, so the name is my VPC. Okay, just provide it, and to save our time I have already noted the CIDR here. Okay, so just paste here, and after that kept other things default. Okay, and just create VPC. Okay, and just click on this your VPC option, and after that you can see that the VPC is created. Okay, the VPC is created. So this is the previous VPC, so first we delete this. So so there will be no confusion. Okay, so this VPC, now this is our default VPC, and this is our just the newly created VPC. We created that one. Okay, so click on this. Now you can see there is no any subnets is created and no any network connections are there. Okay, there is only route table is present. Okay, route network traffic to resources. Okay, and just this VPC is empty. Okay, so we have to create the subnets, and how to create all the VPC components manually, let's we see. Okay, so click just I am copy and pasting the URL here. Okay, so click on your VPC. Okay, now we have to create the subnets. Okay, so here the default subnets, okay, which is already created in the default VPC. So now we have to create the subnets. So in this VPC we will create the total 4 subnets, 2 private and 2 public. Okay, so we will create, and we have to select the VPC here. So in which VPC we have to create this subnet. Okay, so our VPC is this, my VPC. Okay, so select it. After that subnet name, so my public subnet. Okay, we will create first public subnet, my public subnet 1. Okay, my public subnet 1, or just okay, just public subnet 1. And after that we have to keep the IPv4 subnet CIDR block. Okay, so just copy and paste here. Okay, so just click on create subnet. Okay, the subnet is created. After that we will create another subnet. Okay, so the next one, this is the for subnet 2 CIDR block. Okay, and we will give the name public subnet 2. Okay, and we also choose the availability zone if you want. So for first subnet I have not selected the availability zone. So it is by default it may be created in any availability zone. Okay, so here are the three availability zone. Okay, so there are, that is AP South 1A, AP South 1B and AP South 1C. We are in Mumbai region now. Okay, so just select the first. For example, just I am selecting the second one. Okay, after that just create the subnet. Okay, the second subnet is also created. Now I am creating the third subnet. Okay, this is I am creating the private subnet. Okay, sorry, here the subnet name, that is my private subnet 1. Okay, now we have to paste the CIDR block, that is for third subnet. Now create subnet. After that the subnet is created. After that fourth subnet, that is this one. So select the VPC. After that, if you want to select the availability zone, then you can select, for example I am selecting B. Okay, and first we selected by default option, means it created in any availability zone. Okay, because we have not selected the option here. Okay, so private subnet 2 and place here the CIDR. Okay, so our 4 subnets are created. Okay, in which the 2 subnets are private and 2 subnets are public. Okay, so now let's check what happened in this diagram. Here you can see that the 2 subnets are created in AP South 1B availability zone, and the 2 subnets are created in 1C availability zone, AP South 1C. Okay, so and here you can see this is a private subnet, this is public subnet, this is private subnet, and this is public subnet. Okay, so these subnets are created that we not selected the, when we selected the default option for to create the subnets in this availability zone, so it is created in the 1C availability zone. Okay, and 2 subnets are created in the 1B availability zone. Okay, so this is connected to the route table, and here you can see there is no network connections. Okay, so let's create it. First we will create the route tables, which is for private subnet and one for public subnets. Okay, so again we click here, and after that click on route table. Here create route table, that is route table for private route table. Okay, and select the VPC for which VPC you have to create it. Okay, so this is our VPC and this is a private route table we are creating. Okay, so create route table. Okay, the route table is successfully created. Okay, here you can see I refresh this page. Here you can see the private route table is created. Okay, after that we will create the public route table, that is public route table. Okay, select the VPC and just click on create route table. Okay, the next, so the both route tables are created, that is public route table and private route table. Okay, and this route tables is already created, which is of default VPC. Okay, and this is for our newly created VPC. Okay, so now I again refresh, then you can see here the public and private both are showing here. Okay, so now what we have to do, the thing is we have to create the network connections. Okay, to how the VPC can access the internet with the help of network connection. So let's create the internet gateway. Okay, just click on create internet gateway, and this is my internet gateway. Okay, let's create it. Okay, an internet gateway is successfully created. Here you can see, okay, my internet gateway. Okay, and after that you have to create one NAT gateway. Okay, so okay, just create my NAT gateway. Okay, select the subnet, in which subnet you have to create the NAT gateway. Okay, so we are selecting the public subnet. Okay, because to access the internet. Okay, so this is a public subnet 1. I am selecting the public subnet. Okay, now allocate the elastic IP for it. Okay, it's successfully allocated. Now just create on NAT gateway. Okay, so NAT gateway is created. Now you can see, just I refresh here. In this diagram you can see that now the NAT gateway is created. Okay, and the internet gateway is not showing here. Okay, so why it's not showing? Because for the internet gateway, let's move here. Okay, so internet gateway we have to attach to the VPC like this. Okay, just click on this and attach to the VPC. So we have to select the VPC like this, not like a NAT gateway. Okay, we have to select VPC here and attach internet gateway. Okay, okay, now you can see here. Okay, the internet gateway is also now showing. Okay, so now we have to make the connections. Okay, so you can see the VPC is not connected, and also the internet gateway is also not connected. And here you can see these all public subnet as well as private subnet is also connected to the default route table. Okay, and these route tables are also not created. So how to do it? Okay, so let's do this. So for this we have to move in the route table. Okay, so this is a route table. Okay, so first we enter in the public route table. Okay, so here you can see there are four options: routes, subnet associations, edge associations, route propagation, and tags. So we have to click on this subnet association. After that, now this is the public route table. Okay, so we have to associate the public subnets here. Okay, so edit subnets association and select the public subnets because this is a public route table, and just save associations. Now you can see, just I refresh the page. Now you can see that. Okay, so this is the public subnet is connected to the public route table. Okay, both you can see the public subnet 1 and public subnet 2 both are connected to the public route table. Now same for this, same we have to perform for the private route table. So let's do it. Route table or private route table, then after that subnet associations, edit subnet and associate the private subnet to private route table, save associations. Okay, now let's refresh again. Now here you can see private route table is connected to both subnets. Okay, that is private subnet 2 and private subnet 1. Okay, so this is done. After that we have to attach the internet gateway to the public route table and NAT gateway to the private route table. So let's do it. So for that we have to again go to the route table. So for private route table, just click on here and so we have to change the routes. Okay, edit the routes, so add route, and we have to select 0.0.0.0/0. It means anyone can access the internet. Okay, after that this is the private route table. Okay, so this is a private route table, and here we select the NAT gateway. For private route table, the NAT gateway, and for the public route table we have the internet gateway. Okay, so just select the NAT gateway. Okay, and save changes. Here I again refresh the image so you understand very easily. Oh, so okay, now you can see the private route table is connected to the NAT gateway. After that we have the public route table. Okay, we have to connect it to that my internet gateway, have to connect to the public route table. So make the connection. So route tables, after that public route tables, after that routes, select add routes, after that this one, and here internet gateway we have to select, after that the internet gateway, and save changes. Here again I refresh, then you can see that. Okay, now the public route table is connected to the my internet gateway and private route table is connected to my NAT gateway. Okay, so our VPC is now created. Okay, now what we have to do? Okay, so you can see that our VPC is successfully completed. Nothing we have to do now. Okay, so let's do one thing, that for just to check that our VPC is correctly created or not, just click on, just we create one EC2 instance. Okay, so let's create an EC2 instance. Just click on launch instance, select the name, that is this is for example my EC2. This is the name of EC2 instance. Select Ubuntu, and here selecting the existing key pair. After that create a security group. We have to edit here, that is from default VPC to my VPC. After that we have to enable the auto assign IP address. Okay, after that the most important thing, here you can see this is a private subnet. Okay, we not have to create in the private subnet, we have to create it in public subnet. Okay, after that, because we can't access it, okay, if we created in private subnet. Okay, for that the database or the important resources that only we have to keep in the private VPC. Okay, just we are creating the EC2 instance for practice, so we have selected the public subnet. Okay, just create it, launch, here TTL enable. Okay, it's showing error that the selected instance type is not supported in the zone, that is AP South 1 AC. Please select different instance type or subnet. Okay, so it's saying that this instance is not created in this subnet. Okay, so let's change, because this public subnet 1 is present in the our 1C subnet, the 1C, availability zone. So let's select another public subnet. For example, this is created in EP South 1B availability zone. Okay, just select it and launch instance. After that, just here no instances are found, select all state. These are all previously created instances and it is in pending states, so just waiting for the green signal here. Okay, it's running, so let's connect it. So if the EC2 instance is successfully created, then means our VPC is also successfully and perfectly created. So okay, it is successfully created, and after that, just for testing purpose, we will update our system. Update. Okay, here you can see all works are going smoothly. Okay, so thank you. We will meet in another video with another questions. This is only for today's video. Okay, subscribe my channel and thank you.